Hey friends, welcome back to Simply Home and Harvest. Today's video is going to be a couple of different days worth of video. I'm actually going to show you some cinnamon oat scones that we made for breakfast one morning. Excellent recipe. The kids and I really enjoy those. I don't think I've ever made them for Tim. Sorry, we'll have to fix that. And then we're going to bring you a very special treat, something you've asked for. Breakfast with Tim. So he let me film him as he cooked breakfast for us on Saturday, I think, this past weekend. So I got that footage for you. So just a little bit of collection of video, I guess, for today. And I hope you enjoy. First up is our delicious cinnamon oat scone recipe. Now, sadly, I do not make this on a regular basis, and my kids have been requesting it lately. This is normally something I pull out if we have company or a special occasion, but today I thought, why not make this yummy recipe? So to my bowl, I've added 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and then next our recipe calls for 3/4 cups of oats. Now you can use either quick cooking oats or the old-fashioned oats. Either one will work just fine. Next, we're going to add 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar, along with 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Next, you're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm using my Himalayan pink salt, but any kind of salt will work for this. And then I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and I'm just going to mix that all together. And then our final step for the dough part is to add in 1/2 cup of butter or margarine. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to take a stick of butter and cut this into probably about a tablespoon, maybe 1/2 tablespoon, just little pats of butter. I find that this is a lot easier when it comes to incorporating that cold butter into your dry mix. Now, if you've been here any length of time, you'll know I like to use my butter paper to grease down pans when baking, so that's what I'm doing here. And then I happen to have a pastry blender, but if you do not, you can use a fork or you can even use your hands. The goal here is just to get that dough into a crumbly mixture. Now, this does take a minute or two, but once you're done, the final step is to add in 1/2 cup of milk. Now, you can use any milk that you have on hand. Today, I'm choosing to use an unsweetened vanilla almond milk. And then you're just going to stir this together until those dry ingredients are moistened. And then onto a floured work surface, I'm using my pastry mat. You're just going to gently knead your dough about 5 or 6 times. And you're just wanting to get this formed into a ball just where that dough starts to come together. And then we're going to place that on a cookie sheet. And I'm going to press this into about a 6-inch round, leaving it about 1 inch thick. And then our next step is to make our topping, and this is just 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar along with 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And I'm going to also melt in the microwave 1 tablespoon of butter. And then I'm going to take that butter, just brush it on top of your dough, and then the final step before the oven is just to sprinkle it with your cinnamon sugar mixture. Oh, you know what? I did leave out a step. Before the oven, you'll also want to cut this into 8 wedges and just separate them slightly. Now we're going to bake this for about 20 to 30 minutes or until golden brown, and that is going into our preheated 375-degree oven. Y'all, these are so good. I highly recommend you trying these out for your family. Now, we like to have ours with our homemade apple butter. Sometimes I'll even pull out like a blueberry jam or strawberry preserves. But I think on this morning we had apple butter and just maybe a side of fruit to go along with it. Makes for the perfect breakfast. It's also really fancy, and you could add like a glaze to it. Since I have made this recipe, I've been experimenting and I've made some maple scones, so I'll have to share that with you in an upcoming video. But really the sky's the limit here. There's so many flavors you can add into these scones, into just this simple recipe. So stay tuned for that, and in the meantime, make sure you take the time to make this one and let me know how you like it. Okay, now let's get on to the rest of our video and breakfast with Tim. So I've been trying really hard to capture breakfast with Tim, but he is quicker than I am. He'll say, okay, I'm gonna get up and cook breakfast, and by the time, I've gotten out of bed and gotten ready, he is way started. So this is what we have going here. Ethan took off again, but today we decided to use the outdoor grill. It's not a Blackstone. I don't know, it was his dad's. His dad decided that he didn't really like it, and so he passed it on to Tim. And we have not used it much because, back in the fall, if you remember, I burned up our other grill. So we're just now getting back into the grilling season. But what we got going on here, honey?
We got some diced potatoes, seasoned my special way.
Ooh.
We got some bacon. I'm going to cook some eggs. I'm going to make some pancakes.
Yeah,
and then I'm going to do some toast on the grill as well.
Yum. I made some pancake batter.
What's going to be really good is some leftover hamburger grease on here. Probably a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. So this is actually going to have some really good flavor. I don't normally tell them when there's stuff left over and do it on there because they're like, ooh. But then they eat it and they're like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, he likes to throw in leftovers.
I got some hamburgers I could put on here too.
Yeah, I think I'll pass on that.
Alright, just making sure.
Looks good. I did go ahead and get the pancake batter going for Tim. Good old Hungry Jack buttermilk pancake mix for the win. I think he's going to add some stuff to it. So I maybe throw in some blueberries with mine. Somebody has laid an egg. Pancakes are on. Tim did something to them. It's not blueberries. They look darker. I think he made them into chocolate pancakes. Chickens are definitely talkative this morning. The chickens have been telling us that they've laid eggs. Alex said we have 2 so far. They've been slacking a little bit lately. We think it's because of the stress of introducing the new flock in, but then also we think they've been getting into the chicks' food and not eating their layer food, which can also cut down on egg production. So I'm sure it will all work itself out here in the next little bit. We've moved on to eggs and toast.
Give that one a minute. I'm getting used to the grill.
I know. This is our first time cooking breakfast out here, so we are all going to learn together. Tim says I don't season food enough, and I say he over seasons things. Honey, that is enough.
This is why I don't like it when you watch me cook.
We don't need high blood pressure.
That's why I don't like it when you watch me cook. Get some cheese.
Alright, well don't put any salt on the bread, okay?
Unsalt the bread. It's even unsalted butter.
Sorry, it was hard to be a sous chef and record at the same time, but we're making sandwiches, so that one is now ready. Bacon, egg, cheese, sourdough bread that I made yesterday. Was it yesterday I made that? Oh, I missed that sandwich.
It's alright, I'm not done with that one yet. You can watch the final completion of that one. And then you mash it down to get the yolk running.
Oh, yeah. And you just have to make sure you have a few napkins.
Always.
That looks so good. Excited. This looks great. Kids said they really liked the pancakes. So rock on.
Now watch the yolk run. Good, it didn't run too bad. That's exactly how I want to make it.
Hold it still. Let me see. I think that's just cheese, but oh yeah, that looks so good. All right, let's eat. So here's a look at my plate. Yummy sandwich. I put a little ketchup on my potatoes. Everything is very good. Not a huge fan of the pancake, but the kids love them. I think Tim snuck in some chocolate syrup in there. Anyway, waiting on him, but I think we're gonna have to move our location because this is what the sky looks like. So at least we got breakfast cooked outside, but I think we're gonna have to transfer our little dining experience indoors today. So breakfast was delicious. We did get to enjoy it outside. I think we ate it on the front porch, didn't we? Yes. We ended up moving to the front porch because the rain did come and it ended our plans to eat on the deck. But we were still able to enjoy a breakfast outside. Always enjoy our time together on the weekends and our breakfast together. Such a good cook right there.
Yes, I love weekend breakfast.
All right, well, I'm going to end the video here today. So until next time, friends, remember to live simply, use what you have, enjoy the moments you've been given. I will be back very soon with a new video. Take care, friends.